Hello, John Jerkovich here, episode number 10 of Loans, Homes, and Stuff. Our question today is, what is your personal multiple? If you've ever bought a stock, plan on buying a stock, ever been in a relationship, plan on being in a relationship, have had a family, have had a job, plan on getting a job, then this is something that matters to you because in my belief, this is the way that we kind of look at all things in our life is not that much dissimilar to the way that we buy a stock. If you're going to buy a stock, typically speaking, people will go, they'll mill it over in their head. Am I making a good decision? Is this a good buy? Is the potential risk today worth the long-term reward? So if I think about buying a stock, here's some things that I would encourage you or kind of just say that most people look at. Like, what does the company do? How does it make its money? Who's the CEO? What's the leadership like? What's the culture inside of that company? How's their balance sheet? Do they have a lot of debt? Typically speaking, a company with a tremendous amount of debt, their chance of success is a lot smaller than that company that has a lot of cash or even no debt. What's their sector like? How competitive is it? Can they go out there and compete? Or does it take, a massive investment to go out there and be competitive inside of their sector? And will they just get eaten up by their competition? What are some potential red flags that this company may face down the road? So if there's a pending litigation or a pending lawsuit, is that a company that I necessarily want to invest in? Or maybe is that one that I steer clear of? Can they compete in the future? Are they cutting edge with regards to technology, the way that they embrace new things? Really, how does that company handle change? And do you believe that they'll be able to handle change, where the market's going to be at 3 years, 5 years? Are they going to excel or are they going to look backwards and kind of, they've had their heyday? Past earnings, so every financial company that you can buy a stock, they're constantly publishing annual reports. And then the future outlook, what's the potential or what do you believe they're going to do? Like Under Armour recently signed Steph Curry. If you think that's going to be a catalyst to send Under Armour stock twice as high, then by all means buy Under Armour. But look at these things, and these are the things that we look at. And last but not least, there's a thing called a price to earnings ratio or a PE ratio, and that looks at their earnings times X equals their stock price. So a company that earns $1 per share and has a multiple of 10, they would be a $10 stock. So what is your multiple as an individual? Your earnings times what equals your stock price? Now, through the process of my career, I've probably hired 1,000 people, been in all kinds of different friendships, relationships, have interacted with all kinds of people, have bought a whole bunch of stuff, and I came to realize that this process is not that dissimilar to the way I buy a stock. It's kind of how I make all of my decisions, and I think that a lot of you do it the exact same way. So when I think about a future employee, or making a decision, I look at the same things, right? How does that person make their decisions? How does that company make their money? Are they ethical? Are they honest? Who runs the company, right? Are they trustworthy? Are they healthy? Do they have a good reputation? What do they look like on social media? Are they hardworking? How's the balance sheet? Do they come with a lot of debt, a lot of baggage, or do they come with some awesome reviews, tons of referrals, and everything that I can see out there is squeaky clean on them and portrays that image of something that I would want to be associated with? How's their sector? Right? Do you have somebody that that's just flat out in the wrong job? They're in the wrong sector. They could be doing amazing things someplace else, but they're in the wrong sector. Do you invest time, money, energy into that person? Or do you maybe just, kind of shy away from that company? Would that be a stock you would not buy? What are some potential red flags? What are some things to scare people away? I know in the business side, if there's a company that's got some huge lawsuit pending, I may stay away from that stock. There's also potential red flags in hiring, relationships, anything like that. You have to identify those red flags and see if it's something that you can overcome. Can they compete in the future? And this really has to do with how readily can they adapt to change, or how readily can some person adapt to change, because technology is always changing. And if you haven't been able to embrace it and change it in the past, there's probably a good indication that you're not going to be able to change it in the future. Past earnings and future outlook. And there's actually a whole way of interviewing people called behavioral-based interviewing that indicates what you've done in the past is a predictor of what you do in the future. And there's companies that purely hire off of that. So be aware of that what you've done in the past. However, my belief is this. Just think of Pokemon, right? Nintendo 6 months ago, that stock was dead. And today, after the launch of Pokemon Go, there's a whole new perspective on it. That too could be the way that your life works. And then your price to earnings ratio. You may not know it, but you have a PE ratio with everybody involved in your life. There's a multiple that they place on the relationship with you. Your employer places a multiple on you. Your friends, your family, your loved ones, everybody places a multiple on you. Heck, think about it. A real estate agent, right? Every single day when they go out to get a listing, their clients or their potential clients are running through this same list in their head of the things that matter. And either you get hired or you don't. As a mortgage guy, my clients are running through the exact same type of list. Heck, even the kid out running a lemonade stand, someone driving by, a potential customer driving by, looks at and runs through a list in their head as to whether or not they're going to invest in that. Restaurants, exact same thing, right? The hours that you're open, your storefront, does your food taste good? What does it say on Yelp? So just be aware that these are things that happen today. And as the owner of a business or a publicly traded company, did you know that a CEO of a publicly traded company primarily has one job? And that is to drive shareholder value. So think about this. You are a CEO of yourself. You're the CEO of your family. You're the CEO of your legacy, right? You're creating something here today, whether good or bad, but you're the CEO. You've got the keys. And if I want to drive shareholder value, here's some suggestions that I would make. Identify those 4 or 5 areas in your life that you can make the biggest impact today. So where can you drive the most shareholder value for your shareholders today? Go out there, double down on those. Take your time, invest your time and energy into those things where you're going to get the biggest rate of return. And don't think that what you've done in the past is an indicator of what you can do in the future. I'm not here to tell you what those 4 or 5 areas are. You probably already know what those areas are and where you need to spend your time. But I think about this a lot. You hear of the guy that made millions of dollars and dies at 51 years old because he couldn't get up 30 minutes earlier each day to exercise and take care of himself, dies of a massive heart attack. His legacy was now that he died of a massive heart attack at 51, and so sad, when he could have made some different choices as the CEO of his life at that time to have a much different result and a much greater legacy. So remember this, the only person that can determine your multiple is you. You drive your shareholder value. Each and everything that you do out there is going to impact your multiple, either in a positive way or a negative way. What I'm encouraging you to do, take the time, find those 4 or 5 things, drive the shareholder value to your loved ones. And I think at the end of the day, you're going to be much happier when you do this, and you're going to have a better life. So if I can do that, then that's fantastic. My goal is to have the highest multiple ever. Google trades at like 30 times earnings. I want my multiple to be 1,000 when, it's all said and done. And at the end of this whole run that I'm doing, I want to know that my multiple was as high as I could possibly make it for those that I care about. Have a great day. Any questions, concerns, please let me know. Please like, follow, share, subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at John Jurkovich. And heck, if you want me to take some time and look at your business of your life and let you know some areas that you could get ahead in, and I've worked with you or you know me, feel free to call me. I'd love to sit down and talk with you. We make the world better one person at a time. Thank you very much. You have a great day.